Well, good morning. I am Keegan Sawyer. I am the director of the Emerging Science Standing Committee, who is convening today's workshop. I'm very pleased to see so many people on this week of Thanksgiving come want to talk toxicity testing. So, on behalf of the Emerging Science Standing Committee, I welcome all of you this morning. We have a very lively and engaging agenda, so be prepared. First, I want to say a few words about the Emerging Science Standing Committee. This committee was put together in 2009, so we've been around for quite some time now. It was designed to bring together people from academia, industry, environmental health interest groups to examine and explore and consider issues on the use of emerging science for environmental health decisions. This committee does not do that alone. We work with a government liaison group, which has representatives from federal government agencies and offices, quite a wide variety of organizations involved with us. And we're sponsored by the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences for all of this time. Here are the members. And you can see many of them are in the room. Many of them are very familiar names to you. And they aren't just expert scientists. These are experts in policy. These are the big thinkers who can horizon scan, who can see new science and old science and figure out how to bring it to fruition in our decision making, whether it's decisions about research directions, decisions about public health policy, or regulations. And this is why we've been here for so long, serving this horizon scanning function for the Emerging Science Committee. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge some of the staff that have been involved with this. First is Marilee Shelton Davenport, who many of you know. She started this standing committee and until this summer was the director. She's sitting in the back. Andrea Hodgson, who has been working with us for the past couple of years. She was the lead organizer for today's workshop. And Annika Sen, who makes sure everything runs smoothly, that everybody arrives on time and can change their slides. So with that, I'm going to introduce co-chair of the Emerging Science Standing Committee, Kim Buekelheide, who will say a few words.
Welcome, everyone. It's good to see so many friends and hopefully new friends welcome at this conference workshop. I think just the arrangement of the tables tells us that we're going to have a different experience this time around. I'm really looking forward to it. My name's Kim Buekelheide. I'm co-chair of the Emerging Sciences Committee along with Melissa Perry. Melissa was actually very much engaged in the development of the workshop that's happening today and tomorrow. I'm standing in for her in this introduction because she's busy being an associate dean this morning, but she'll be here later on today. So you've had an introduction to the members of the standing committee, and what our efforts are directed at are looking to the future. What is the science that is emerging? How do we grapple with that, and how do we take that science and put it in the context of utility and application in the regulatory sphere, in the policy sphere? And here are some examples of past workshops that have been conducted on big topics that we all know about are important: microbiome, climate change, individual variability. How do we integrate these concepts into the work that we all do to help us preserve and improve environmental health? So just specifically to get on your calendar, a couple upcoming workshops. The January 10-11, 2018 workshop on the promise of genome editing to advance environmental health research. Genome editing has just exploded in the last 5 years onto the scene as a way to manipulate our genome and its signals exquisitely. And this workshop is going to look at this topic in the context of environmental health. And the workshop's pretty much in the can, which is great. So please consider attending that workshop. And then the workshop following that in February 2021, 2018 is informing environmental health decisions through data integration. And again, this is a topic that has been touched on before by this group, and it's a recurring topic. And I'm part of the organizing committee for this topic, and we're looking for, what are the new data streams? What are the new ways in which we can take exciting kinds of geospatial data, combine them with in vitro health-related data, and make decisions? So I would welcome you to come to that workshop as well. So today's workshop, Understanding Pathways to a Paradigm Shift in Toxicity Testing and Decision-Making, was organized by the group shown here. Let's see if I can go back. Don't seem to be able to go back. Okay, thank you very much. Just to mention the names of the people involved, and as you can see from their affiliations, it's really across the spectrum of government, research agency, institute, and academics that contribute to the organization of these workshops. Stanley Barone, John Bucher, Kevin Elliott, Gary Ginsberg, Patrick McMullen, Jennifer McPartland, Christy Pullen-Fedenik, Heather Pattisall, Melissa Perry, and John Vandenberg. So first of all, thank all of you who participated in organizing this. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of teleconferences, but the product is always pretty amazing. Just some housekeeping issues, and I think the primary one here to keep in mind is that you'll hear from many people, and there'll be a lot of conversation in the discussions that we have. Just be aware that any comments that are made by anyone in this room are ascribed to them as individuals, not to their agencies or institutions. So that allows us to express ourselves freely. And you're encouraged to do that. That's the point. Come forward with your ideas and feel free to do so. Let me now introduce John Bucher, who is the Associate Director of NTP and will speak to the National Institutes of Environmental Health Sciences' role in this process.
Well, thank you very much, Kim. I'm very much looking forward to this workshop. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting couple of days. And just to let you know a little bit about the genesis of the workshop, Warren Casey and I approached the committee some time ago with a request, really, of trying to understand how the NAS might fit within an activity that we are carrying out at NIEHS associated with the ICVAM program and what are called is NICEDM, which I won't bore you with the acronyms, but basically the ICVAM has been putting together a U.S. strategic roadmap for advancing the integration of alternative assays into risk assessment and also into human medicine. And one of the things that we have recognized at the very beginning is that we need to make a lot of moving pieces come together in one way, in one place, to make this strategic roadmap go forward. Many of you may realize that ICVAM has been around for 17 years. It was authorized in 2000 legislatively, and it was active for several years before that. I'm talking with Maurice Whalen yesterday, a couple days ago now. He mentioned that the ECVAM has been in operation for 25 years. It's now changed its name a little bit to try, I guess, to maybe distance itself from I'm just kidding, Maurice. But the point is that these activities have been underway for a long time now. I think in some ways progress has been made in the development of alternative assays more quickly than we thought it might be. But there's been somewhat of a disconnect, I think, between the development of the science, the engaging of the regulatory community, the legal aspects of accepting alternative assays, the issues related to the European Union, the differences in philosophy between the use of data in the United States versus in Europe, where you have legal ramifications versus a precautionary principle philosophy. So there are a lot of things going on where you need to take a step back and say, how can we really look at this from a holistic perspective? And how do you convince people that there's enough information to move away from the things that they're confident in and comfortable with, and make decisions on new data that they may be not convinced fully that is as good as the old data. But we need to keep an open mind about the value of the old data and the rapid advances in the science, so that we can make sure that we're not missing things that really could help in the area of public health by simply being comfortable in the ways we're doing things. So that's really what this meeting is about. Again, I look forward to it. I think it's going to be a fantastic couple of days, and hopefully we can come together with some ideas at the end of this workshop that we can incorporate into the implementation plans of the U.S. Strategic Roadmap for moving things forward in adopting assays in risk assessment, and also in the area of human medicine, because this is an equally important area, and FDA is an important player in this realm, and many of the things that we're doing in toxicology have ramifications across other areas of science. So with that, I will thank the committee for accepting this proposal to work for this workshop, thank the organizing staff for pulling this together, and thank you all again for being here.